tell you what. Right now we got a wild one coming over here. He looks, he don't look like much. But why are you trying to tune that thing, son? You can't play it yet. I guess that's the first step is to tune it up. This old boy has written a lot of great songs about Florida. It's an honor to have him here. And he is, they stuck me in that old Florida Artist Hall of Fame. Well, he's the one. He's the guilty one for it. So I tried, he jumped on that and was going to put me in there. And I said, no, don't do that. That's not who I am. I'm not Hall of Fame material.
He's the only one that didn't want to be in the Hall of Fame. Everybody else wanted him in there. That's why he's in there.
Well, he wouldn't quit. He's like a damn bulldog. And,
smart man.
So he got her done. Y'all please welcome here, Mr. Before I do that, too, let me say this. That Rick Smith, Pat Smith's son, is here with his multimedia tour that he put together about his daddy's great book, A Land Remembered. If you haven't read that book, anybody here that has not read it? You need to do that. You need to check it out of the library. Read that book, A Land Remembered.
Better yet, Frank, he's got copies for sale here.
He does, yeah. You can just take one home with you. He's got all kind of stuff over there from his dad. And we're going to close everything down from 12 to 1 while he's doing his presentation here in the room right there. So now we'll come back to Knothead here.
Yes, sir.
He's growing him a Willie Nelson beard, I think. Please, Emmett Carlisle.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, I've spent many weekends and weekdays, I guess, and hanging out at Frank's house, and some reason or other, I go there and I always think of songs. Just sitting on the front porch. Hey, Frank, listen. He'll be in the kitchen doing something. I'll walk in there. Hey, Frank, listen to this. Follow him around the house, showing him the 3 chords I figured out. He puts up with me, though, and so does Lisa, and I really appreciate that. They're good friends of mine. I love them deeply. Now, here's a...
And putting that bathroom floor in. You remember that?
Yeah, sure do. He gets me working. That's what it is. I go over there to write songs. He ends up having me redo the bathroom, helping Lisa.
That would be worth the song.
It does. Here's a song I wrote when I first met Frank. And before Frank was with Lisa, this is a song about Ann Thomas. I know a lot of you out here are friends with Ann Thomas also. She's gone now. And this is a song called Ann Thomas Stories, Frank Thomas Songs. Ain't nothing extra, Frank will always say. Every time you ask him, how do you feel today? Dogs on the front porch, in the orange grove, white cracker house, down old Rattlesnake Road. He wrote songs in Nashville, had a hit or two, cold beer and cigarettes, Nashville blues. Moved home to Polk County to marry his sweet Ann. Together they sing songs about this Florida land. Ann Thomas stories, Frank Thomas songs, Florida's history. before it's gone. I ain't nothing extra, I hope he sees he's something extra to me. The orange in your stocking, the biscuit in your pan, stories of loving this cracker man. The moral of her story, to yourself be true, enjoy the simple things God has given you. And Thomas stories, Frank Thomas songs, Florida's history before it's gone. I ain't nothing extra, I hope he sees he's something extra to me. He misses Will and Gamble, he misses Paul and Don, he misses Ann and Bobby, but he just keeps driving on to another festival. Someone calls their name, together they'll be driving to the Hall of Fame. And Thomas stories, Frank Thomas songs, Florida's history before it's gone. I ain't nothing extra, I hope he sees. Hey Frank, you're something extra to me. Much as I jump around, I'm gonna move this over here so I can get down a little bit. Yeah, I've got a bunch of songs, you know. I've got about, I don't know, Frank's got 500 songs. I've got about 80, I think. But a lot of my songs have been influenced by hanging around with Frank and Lisa and just, you know, the influence of the Florida. I knew Will McLean, by the way, too, and Will McLean was an influence on me to, you know, you didn't need to start writing some songs about Florida. So I said, okay, and so here we are today, you know. So here's some more stuff that, you know, Frank's famous for giving homework assignments. And I think I saw Mike Jurgensen around here somewhere. He wrote a really nice song about Tarpon Springs and stuff. And so Frank's given me a couple of assignments, and this is one. It's called Polly Parker. She was a Seminole that escaped from the Army on her way up to Oklahoma. And this is a true story. And she's in the Bird Clan. So if you see Polly Parker flying, that's why. True story. Polly Parker, where you gonna run? Soldiers are coming with a gun. Proud Seminole, you are free. She said, Oklahoma ain't no place for me. Polly still remembers all those years, the Seminole War, the Florida Trail of Tears. They put a price on your head. Surrender, you will end up dead. Keep on running, keep on hiding, back to Okeechobee, to the Devil's Garden. Your sons and daughters will help the tribe survive. The gray cloud steams from Egmont Key, with Seminole bound for New Orleans. At St. Mark's, a stop along the way. Hey, that's where Polly Parker got away. Keep on running, keep on hiding, back to Okeechobee, to the devil's garden. Your sons and daughters will help the tribe survive. The panther, the wind, the bird, the deer, big town, the snake, the otter, the bear, all clans of the Seminole tribe. See Polly Parker fly. Polly Parker, where you gonna run? Soldiers are coming with a gun. Proud Seminole, you are free. Hey Polly Parker, won't you wait for me? Hey Polly, wait for me. Thank you, a little Florida history. Well, that was one assignment Frank gave me, and here's another one. One day I was at his house. He says, "Hey, Emmett, what's the story about Hogtown?" I said, "I don't know, Frank. I guess they, Hogtown's Gainesville, Florida." I said, "I don't know. I guess they used to sell hogs there at one time. I don't know." And he said, "Why don't you research it and write a song?" So I said, "Yes, sir," because you can't say no, sir, to Frank. And so this is the history of Gainesville, Florida. Going down to Hogtown tonight. There's a little bit of heaven here on God's good earth. Once native tribes walked upon their place of birth beneath the Florida pines, down by Hogtown Creek. And if you listen, you can hear them speak. One day the settlers came, back in 24. They built a fort called Hogtown for the Seminole War. The Ulysses train came through Gainesville to Cedar Key. They changed the name, but she's Hogtown to me. Going down to Hogtown tonight, and we'll be dancing with their spirits by the firelight. 'Cause the Union lost the fight, Chief Billy, he won the right. Going down to Hogtown tonight. Long before the football, the university, long before Tom Petty was a refugee, those Union boys fought hard. They got their first defeat, Florida's cavalry, down on Main Street. Going down to Hogtown tonight, and we'll be dancing with their spirits by the firelight. 'Cause the Union lost the fight, Chief Billy, he won the right. Going down to Hogtown tonight. Aim your musket, let your arrows fly. Here we make our final stand. Some will live, some will surely die for this piece of land. Going down to Hogtown tonight, and we'll be dancing with their spirits by the firelight, 'cause the Union lost the fight. Chief Billy, he won the right. Going down to Hogtown tonight, we'll be going down to Hogtown, FLA. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. This is the 4th annual Frank Thomas Folk and Heritage Festival. And this is a song I wrote one weekend at Frank's house about his dogs. And he's got some new dogs now, but his old dogs, when this song was written, were Willard, Jack, and Roger. And Roger died. He lived 20 years or so, and then he died of old age. And his ghost still lives there. So this is called Willard, Jack, and Roger's Ghost. True story. They say a dog is man's best friend. Love you to the very end, Haley. Be there when you need them most. Frank gets his dogs for free. That's how he got him 3. Willard, Jack, and Roger's Ghost. Willard lost his teeth to age, cataract and a hearing aid. Old Jack, he's howling at the moon. Roger lived 20 years, now his ghost is living here. That cracker dog died too soon. And they sleep all day and scratch their fleas. They got a cracker dog pedigree. Frank's real proud, he loves to boast about Willard, Jack, and Roger's Ghost. Cracker house in the orange grove, grits cooking on the stove, when a cur dog came around one night. Straight from hell, that dog was mean, part pit, part Wolverine. That dog was looking for a fight. He bit old Willard on the nose, tried to kill him, I suppose, when Jack and Roger's ghost arrived. Now there ain't nobody really knows, this is how the story goes. They killed that dog, Willard's still alive. They sleep all day and scratch their fleas. They got a cracker dog pedigree. Frank's real proud, he loves to boast about Willard, Jack, and Roger's Ghost. Wedding day in the orange grove, Frank and Lisa got betrothed, gathered round friends and family. Flowers by the preacher's knee, where Willard had to pee, for God and all the world to see. And they sleep all day and scratch their fleas. They got a cracker dog pedigree. Frank's real proud, he loves to boast about Willard, Jack and Roger's ghost. Old Willard, Jack and Roger's ghost. I love that song. It's so fun to play, especially the part where Willard peed. Right there where they were getting married.
That's true.
It's true. This is blessing.
Right in the film, you know, your wedding film. There's Willard. He's got to go. But he's got to be right there with the preacher and the flowers and stuff. That was a great wedding, by the way, Frank. Friends and family. Nothing like it. Hey, you guys back there hiding in the very back. What's up? Hey, what's up, Ray? How y'all doing? All right. Man, I see a bunch of friends out here today. Great to see everybody. Thanks for driving this way and celebrating this great event, Frank Thomas Festival. All right, I'm going to, we're celebrating Frank today, so I'm doing a bunch of songs I've written at Frank's house or influenced by Frank, some one way or another. And this is one of those, I had a little tiny bit of it written, and I went and chased Frank around the house and said, listen to this, listen to these chords. And so this is called The Last Timucuan. True story of Juan Alonso Cabal. He was a Timucuan. You know, before the Seminole were here, there were Timucuan tribes and Calusa and all the different the native tribes that were here originally in Florida. And when, you know, the different people came in and killed many of the Timucuans, and the Spanish had some slaves, some Timucuan slaves, and they were up in St. Augustine. They had about a dozen slaves left when they gave Florida to the English. So the Spanish put their last dozen Timucuan slaves on a boat and sent them to Cuba. And Juan Alonso Cabal died in Cuba, and he's the last Timucuan. Sort of like the last of the Mohicans, only this is a true story. Juan Alonso Cabal. "12,000 years we walked this land, mighty tribes of the Timucuan. Hunt these forests, fish these streams, a Scylla River to St. Augustine. 1560, the Frenchman came, killed my people, made them slaves. The Spanish burned Fort Caroline. 200 years go by. Juan Alonso Cabal's my name. I'm Florida's native son, sent to die in some Cuban land. I'm the last Timucuan. My father walked the mission trail to the fort where big ships sail. He spoke your language, wore your clothes, prayed to your God, only heaven knows. The Creek Yomasi and the English came, another master, another slave. The last Timucuan sailed that day as Florida drifts away. Juan Alonso Cabal's my name. I'm Florida's native son, sent to die in some Cuban land. I'm the last Timucuan. My spirit walks this land, arrowheads in the sand. Please remember me. I'm the last Tumaquan. Juan Alonso Cabal's my name, Florida's native son, sent to die in some Cuban land. I'm the last Tumaquan. I'm Florida's native son.